Good afternoon. Thank you for this invitation. I recall my last time in Budapest. It was 18 years ago on the Island Festival. So now it's much different role, but but still, it's very nice to be there and to show you the project that we conducted for 3 years. And now we've got 15 minutes to present something. I will continue the topic of the two previous presentations about young people and the internet, but from the perspective of young people's skills, competences, so what they really know. And we learned about this in this ySkills project is longitudinal. So what this means? This is an unusual project because normally we just go to young people one time, and we measure what they can do, what they cannot do, what risks they have, what opportunities they have. But in this project, we measured young people in 6 countries, including Poland, 3 times the same people. So the first measurement, then the year, then the second measurement, then the third measurement. That means that we can follow them and we can see which skills are rising, going up, which skills are going down, but also we measured a lot of things about well-being, about mental health, for example, and we can measure how digital skills, but also digital experiences, so what they experience on the internet, can influence mental health. It's very much interesting also from practical point of view, because actually what we learned in this project also gives a lot of hints or information what are the topics we should include in our media education activities, what are more important topics than the others, and what are maybe the most important topics. So I will just give you a few hints in 15 minutes about this. This was the European project. It was not only this longitudinal, it was a big research. Actually, it was almost 3,000 of young people that we measured 3 times, the same young people that we measured 3 times. But we did also another things in this project, like, for example, we approached special groups like migrant children, and we researched how they use the internet, or young people with mental health issues. So having some mental health problems, and they are very specific about using the internet. So we also measured this. But okay, we will focus on these 3 waves. As you see the dates, the first measurement was in 2020-21, and then 3 waves. Yes, and the first wave was from 12 to 15, then they were 1 year older, and then 2 years older, the same people, yes, the same young people. If you make the photo or you remember this simple address, ySkills EU, it's a lot of publications, reports, mostly in English, but also in the 6 languages of the countries that took part in this part. Even if you are researchers, you can use the data from this project because we have totally open data. So anyone could take this data and make calculations on them, use them, and there it is. And okay, we focus on skills. So normally young people are, even now, they are often said, yeah, they are skilled because they were born with the telephone in their hand. It's not true for many years. So let's say the general public, it's always, rephrasing the sentences like young people are technology savvy, young people can do everything, young people can teach us. But if you go deeper and if you really measure the broader palette of skills, you see that's not that easy. But of course, it comes from the problem what we really treat as digital skills. The first is technical and operational skills, and even now many people think it's the whole picture. That if you could do technical things, you could do something on Excel, or you could print something, or you could download software, or you could, for example, change something on your Facebook account, like privacy settings, you are skilled. Of course, it's a part of skills. So if it's the whole cake, it's a slice of this cake. But there are many different things that are also included in digital skills that are by many people not recognized. Okay, professionals, people, researchers in this field, they know that the picture is broader, that also other things are important. But for many people, for many teachers, for many parents, it's just understood like this. If you could use this software, this is your skills, you can use this software, maybe it will be later, you will need this at workplace, for example, yes? And then for many people it's still like this. But when we go deeper in this conference, the next part of skills is information and navigation and processing skills. It has nothing to do with technical, using technically the technology, you use like programming or something like this. It's about if you can find something, how to find something in such big bag, to find something that is valuable, how to recognize if you find something, if it's true or it's totally untrue, and then how to really collect this knowledge and critically assess this knowledge. So as you see, this is the next part of skills that we use. It's communication and interaction skills. Okay, internet is communication tool, but do we know the rules? Do we do this safely? Do we do this in a way that we don't harm other people, that other people do not harm us? It's also part of skills, also far away from these technical operational skills, something more social skills, but with this digital perspective, yes? And content creation skills, production skills, we can publish, we can be producers, not only consumers, but are we really ethical producers? Are we wise content creators? Do we prepare things that are okay for the other people and safe for us at the same time? So as you see, it's much deeper. And of course, we've got programming skills, a separate one. It's the skills connected to easy things, yes, like programming. And as you see with artificial intelligence, you know what will be the programming skills? Will be our natural language, yes? So it's changing in the last 2 years totally when we don't use the special language, yes? Because when we communicate with generative AI with natural language, actually the programming skills will be heuristic, will be logic, like in ancient Greece, because actually we're programming with this. So it's changing a lot during the last 2 years. So the picture is big, and we measured all of this, but we measured all of this based on self-assessment. That's one thing. You ask the person, can you do this or that? Of course, giving specific knowledge or specific skills under these titles, yes? It's a little bit tricky because actually some people who know almost nothing tend to assess themselves higher because, okay, you don't know nothing, so what you know is the highest you can imagine. And sometimes people who know much more objectively, they assess themselves less, so that's a problem. But it's not the only way we measure this. We measure this also by some specific questions concerning concrete actions people do. And also, to some extent, we did a part when young people were not asked if they can do something or not, but we gave them tasks to do. So, for example, one sat at the computer and we said, you got the information that this actor died. How can you check this? How can you check this if it's true or not? Where you go? And we observed what they did. Where they go to check this, how they do this. It's very objective, it's very expensive, yes? You cannot do this on wider populations, but it's very interesting what's the difference between how people assess themselves and what they really can do in practice, because it's not that easy that if you say you can, you can. Maybe you say you can, but actually you can't, So it's like this. So look, what were there, because it's 3 times the same people, technical operational skills, that was the larger increase. So young people at our schools in 6 countries, they go up with technical things. But when you go to some more interesting things like information and navigation, it's only minimal growth. It's almost like stable. So we don't teach this anywhere in Europe. Actually, it was the lowest part. So we, teach the young people how to use the software, for example, how to use the computers, how to calculate something, how to use the editor or something like this, how to, edit the photos or something like this. But when it goes to these deeper skills like information and navigation, young people are almost like stable. It goes up a little bit with age, but nothing much more less than we would expect and what is needed. Content creator is also a small increase. So the first message is technical skills go up, programming skills go up, but actually the social skills, the creation skills, they are like just, on the same level all the time, a little bit up, but just connected to age more than to what they learn, for example, at schools and what they have the opportunities at schools. Is this connected to something? Yes, to psychological things like higher self-efficacy. So those who got higher efficacy, they've got stronger skills, many skills. And also those young people who do more online, more things. Yes, they do this and that because we've got the long list of things. So those who do the great variety of skills, those are more skilled. And that's good, actually. And also something we neglect, because it's only teachers, parents, yes, but those young people who are in good peer support groups, those are also higher in skills. And maybe surprise for some people, this restrictive parental mediation. So when the parents just control and do nothing else, so they don't talk, they don't explain, and don't do things together with children, this is negatively influenced with the skills. So those young people who are only controlled, not supported in other ways, they actually know and can do less. It's interesting, yes, because some people think if I'm controlling, I'm a good parent, because just the control does all good, yes? But it's narrow-minded approach. Boys are higher in technical, operational, and programming skills. Good information is that the girls are higher than before, because in information and navigation and content creation skills, they go up higher. Of course, as you see, older children go up, but only with these technical skills and programming skills. And as you see, SES, so socioeconomic status, so how the family looks like, is connected to slower development of this knowledge, information skills, navigation skills. How it's connected with the risks? What is risk? That, for example, I see what I shouldn't see. So I've got bad contacts on the internet. We put this together. So something like the one indicator of risk. As you see, content creator skills were linked with increased risk. Also, those with content creation skills is the skills of producing things. So those young people who are present, on one hand, they learn a lot by presenting things, by showing things, and not only technically, but they also learn a lot to be these creators. But at the same time, those young people have got increased risk of a lot of risks here. And actually, the recommendation is that we should be aware of this, and particularly working with these groups of young people or those individuals that are involved in this content creation. I could tell you more, because we have 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we did a really nice study in Poland when we made interviews with 100 positive content creators, like YouTubers, young people who are on YouTube. They present some educational activities and things like this. And really, it was a nice study, very rare, because we normally often only bad things we research, but it was very interesting. I have to finish, so that's the last slide. So what could be the message from my presentation? That are skills that are developing, and there are the others that were neglected. And for example, this information and navigation, critical thinking, what you see on the internet, that should be our priority, because that is not developing, and that is very low, and that is crucial for nowadays, particularly with yes. We should be very careful about content creation, because it's on one hand very beneficial, but on the other hand very risky. And we should be aware that what young people could do or can do on the internet is not only connected to the future workplace, but it's connected to the mental health and to their experience. So it's not needed in 10 years in adult workplace, but it's needed now, because it's so much connected to what they actually do, what's the experience on the internet. And of course, we should be raise awareness about, for the parents, that with today's internet, especially mobile internet, and it's not only that they control and restrict, but they are also active partners with using the internet. So these messages, I think, are the most important ones. Again, thank for the organizers and all of you for my possibility to be there. Thank you very much.